Hello, welcome back to my channel, and sorry it's been a little while. I didn't really feel like filming a vlog last week, and so I didn't. And so my thought process was, okay, I'll finish a book and then do another book review, and that book was going to be Fourth Wing. I had the audiobook all set up, I downloaded it, I was like, okay, I'll listen to it at work, it's 20 hours, how bad can it be? And I just wanted to see what all the hubbub was about. 6% of the way through this book, I decided it is simply not for me. I feel like that's kind of like a disappointment, but at the same time, it's like, it's just not for me. Like, this is literally no shade to anyone who likes Fourth Wing. I just don't like the writing style. And I feel like I can't give a fair review if I'm only 6% of the way through and saying, no thank you. So, no review on that came out. And then I was going to do another reading vlog this week to say, okay, well, that didn't work out. And then yesterday, I slept all day. It's one of those days my body was just like, nope. My body simply told me I was tired and did so by making me sleep pretty much all day. I got up around 10, put some dinner in the crock pot. Zach went on a hike. I'm like, okay, I'll just sit on my iPad or read. I did neither of those things and slept in my new reading pillow. That's supposed to be there for me to sit up straight and read. So today I decided to do something a little bit different and do a micro book haul. Normally when people say they're going to do a book haul, they have like a whole bunch of books that they've just somehow acquired. I don't know where all that comes from. Like a library book haul, that makes more sense. But like purchasing like 50 books at a time, it's just not my thing. But I did want to check out this little used bookstore that's about 30 minutes away from where I live. That's not in the normal area we go shopping. It's this little kind of hole in the wall called Fair Trade Books. It's in Red Wing, Minnesota. And it's nice. It is a very nice little bookshop. Their fantasy section is teeny tiny, which it's a used bookstore, so I shouldn't really be surprised by that, I guess. There's no really YA section. It's kind of like fantasy fiction, and then everything else is nonfiction. It's like, it is really just this little hole in the wall. It's a nice little spot. But I got 4 books from there, and the only reason I got 4 is because my husband went with me, and anybody who's never been there before gets a free book, which is interesting. But I'm just going to go over that haul from Fair Trade, not sponsored, obviously. But I'm going to start with, I always like the idea of going into a used bookstore or a independent bookstore to kind of see if there's any like really treasures you can find, because that's the only thing I don't like about Barnes & Noble. It's the newest edition. It's the crazy pretty editions, special editions I should probably say. Their books don't circulate all that much, and I kind of understand why. And you've got the book talk table, you've got, I feel like I go into Barnes & Noble and it's the same books every time I go in there. I like the idea of going into a used bookstore and seeing what kind of treasure I can find, and I think I found one in the weirdest way. I have all of the Lord of the Rings books in the little leather-bound packages, and that little leather-bound pack, it's got The Hobbit in it, and it has all 3 Lord of the Rings texts in it, and these literal pocket book-sized leather bounds. Well, I found a mass market paperback for The Return of the King from their movie cover, and I could not pass this one up. It is The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. It is part 3. It is only one of the books, but Viggo Mortensen is on the front. It is a movie cover. It's from the Valentine books. It's from Del Rey. And I don't know what their other ones look like, but this one, I couldn't pass it up. I mean, Aragorn's on the front. It's obviously a mass market paperback, but I also don't care. I actually kind of like mass markets, because especially like when you're fans of the movies. So I 100% was like, I'm grabbing this. Like, this is something I'm not going to find just anywhere, because these books are probably 2001, so almost 25 years old. So these books are over 20 years old, just like the movies are. So they're probably really hard to find. And I happened to find The Return of the King, and I immediately went, this is my treasure for this trip. This is what I consider my little treasure for my treasure hunt. Meaning just something unique that I'm not going to find at any Barnes & Noble. So I grabbed it. You can tell it's older. Its pages are yellowed. There's something about the yellowed pages of a book. And so now I have 2 copies of The Return of the King. Do I care? No. But I really liked this cover, and I just love that Aragorn was on the front of it, and it's called The Return of the King. So I 100% just snatched it up, and I like it. I'm excited about it. So that is my first little book that I got for this little haul. Not a bad start. The next one I kind of grabbed as we were on our way out. I hadn't found anything that was really calling to me or things I would find interesting, which I think is hilarious because it's like we don't judge books by their cover, but at the same time, it's the cover that grabs us. And the cover that seemed to have grabbed me as I was coming out was something called The Wayfarer Redemption. This book came out in 1995, and I know nothing about it. Basically, from what I understand, there is an old prophecy, there's forbidden love. Oh, she's betrothed to somebody. I don't know, I have no idea what this book is about. But I was drawn by the cover, I read the back of it, and I handed it to Zach and said, what do you think? And he's like, I say give it a try. Only thing is, this is an older series, and there are 6 of these. So, this should be fun. What also kind of grabbed my attention is the publisher, the Tor Fantasy up here, because apparently they still exist, because if you look at the, at Brandon Sanderson's mass market paperbacks, they also have the Tor Fantasy on the spine, so that also caught my attention, so it's like, maybe? Plus, I'm kind of like looking for something a little older, and like I said, looking for different treasures, like maybe things that not everybody is like reading like right now, because all the things that people are considering popular right now are not my favorite. This has a pretty high score on Goodreads too, which is kind of reassuring. It's like a 3.96, it's almost 4 stars. So I'm hesitant, but I'm also like, you know what, this could be really, really interesting. So The Wayfarer Redemption, I'm sorry, is my second pick. And these are the only 2 books I bought. Because you are given 2 free books as a first visitor to Fairtrade. And, well, you're giving a free book. I'm sorry. I was given 2 because Zach was with me. I almost said my Zach instead of my husband, but Zach was with me, so we both got a book. The thing is, it's a book from the same series, and I don't know if she wasn't paying attention or just saw they were 2 books from the same series, but we ended up with books 1 and 3 of Cirque du Freak. It's a juvenile series. I guess that would be young reader or middle grade is also what this is called. We are probably a little too old for these, but we got them for free, so I just know it's got something to do with a kid who, I don't know. It's a kid who ends up in a freak show and then ends up in the world of vampires. That's pretty much what I understand this to be, and that's about it. It's basically a middle grade horror series. And she gave us books 1, the first book, so cool beans. And the thing is, she also gave us book 3, Tunnels of Blood. So I'm missing the vampire's assistant. And I don't know how I feel about that. I think we've been better off with just the first one to see if I liked it, and if we didn't, just kind of like pass it along the line. But now I have 2 of these, and I'm missing the one in the middle. But that's okay. I'm sure a library's got it somewhere. But I don't want to be looking in the middle grade section at almost 30, so it's a little awkward. I was surprised, however, to see that these actually also have very high ratings on Goodreads, like above a 4. I think this was like a 4.9. I think the second one, The Vampire's Assistant, was like a 4.13. I didn't check Tunnels of Blood. I was just kind of impressed that they were above 4 stars on Goodreads. I was like, maybe this won't be too terrible. So I'll probably end up reading the first one at some point. probably wait until like, I don't know, Summerween. Easy book for Summerween, let's be honest. It's not very long. This is 266 pages, which sounds like a bit, but the text is absolutely massive. I think I could finish this pretty easily, to be honest, but I'm also not in the mood right now for anything spooky. So this will probably have to wait until around Summerweenish. Summerween or fall. So I'll have to wait till then. I'm not really worried about waiting until then because these were for free. The ones I'm like really worried about waiting on is this one because, you know, I bought it to read it and I'm still on like the first chapter of Mistborn. So I have to get through that trilogy, and I just picked up another book series by accident. So yeah. So I think that's going to be it for this video. I only got 4 books for this little book haul, but I wanted to say I do like the idea of going to like a smaller kind of hole-in-the-wall bookstore to see what I can find. I still think my favorite part of this little trip was this copy of The Return of the King, just with Viggo Mortensen on the front. It's Aragorn. I mean, it's a nice cover. That's a nice cover. That's a nice side profile. So I think that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's a little bit of a impromptu random video and not really like a huge book haul, which I kind of don't mind. I think it's more a realistic book haul. I wasn't expecting to get 2 other books. I just wasn't. But it ended up working okay. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you've read any of these, well, I've read Return of the King, but if you've read maybe the Wayfarer Redemption or the Cirque du Freak, I think is how you say that. It sounds French. Or the Cirque du But if you've read the Cirque du Freak series, let me know what you thought of it. Like, when did you read it? And any horror fans know if this is any good? Might as well try it. So I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you like and subscribe because that helps out my channel a lot. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.